YouTube model building community. Chris Chapman coming at you from the Rusty Nuts Model Shop. It's a new year, January 1st, 2016. This is my third year anniversary, or third, I think. Three years, I believe, since I put my first video on. That was funny. I should go erase that from the archives before people look at it. How sad. But it's what got me started. Oh, 2015's over. So glad to hear that. I'm going to do what I can to make 2016 better. And yes, that means including models. Gonna do a quick coffee time today. Don't really have a whole lot to talk about and stuff. But I figure if I get this on, then I can turn around and get up a video of the model that I'm starting today. It was on my mind the other day, and I finally figured out what it was. So, I just wanted to tell everybody I survived the New Year's. I decided to give law enforcement officials a break, and I hung out at home all night. With the exception, I went and had dinner with my cousin and his daughter and wife. But besides that, I came home, and I'll tell you what, this gray and this beard is really indicating my age. Because I got back from dinner about 9:30ish. By 10 o'clock, I was ready for bed. And I basically did everything I could, including drinking a few cups of coffee, to make it till midnight, just because I've done it for, I don't know if I did it when I was a baby. I doubt it. Maybe, I don't know. But, I don't know. I decided to stay up, hit 12:01, and I was in bed at 12:02. Woo! Party animal here. So, hope everybody had a good year, 2015. Had a very Merry Christmas. Got to spend time with your family and friends and everything. Got what you wanted, and if you didn't, went and bought yourself something. So, hope you all got a bunch of model kits and things. I spent the Christmas up in Portland, Oregon with my family, and for the most part, it was a really good time. I really enjoyed going up there and seeing them and stuff. I don't get to see them enough. And so, glad I did it. So, now it's time to kind of kick this year in the butt, and hope you all had a good New Year's Eve parties and stuff. And I'm going to kind of tell you, I'm going to do some model kits this year. And I'm going to tell you right off the bat, I'm going to kind of go at a slower pace because I really burnt myself out trying to keep up with all the builds going on, all the group builds and all the charity builds and everything that was going on, plus your regular builds, trying to keep the builds going for the shows. And it's the shows and stuff, I don't know, I'm kind of tossed on it because I really enjoy going to them and talking and meeting and hanging out with the other builders. That to me is like the funnest part of it. And they had a show this year that I learned about the day of. It was Hobby Town did it. For some reason, they don't send out an email or anything. I got an email that came in on Friday night at like 10:15 p.m. So 7:30 Saturday morning, I get up, I brew me up a cup of coffee, I go bring up my email, and wow, there's a model show today. And then they wonder why they don't get a very good turnout, 4 or 5 people. And in this area here alone, we've got 3 model car clubs, and I know of about 45 to 50 people locally that would support that shop. Then you go farther south into Salt Lake and stuff. You got 150, 200 modelers for the other hobby town. Then you go even farther south, another 300 people, 200 to 300 people for that hobby town. And they're getting 3, 5, 6 people showing up with a model or two. And it's kind of disappointing because it's a lot of fun. And finding out so late, I just decided at the last minute to ride out there and just go say hi to everybody. And when I got there, there was 3 people there. We talked, I hung out for about 2 hours. I didn't take any models or anything. And I had a blast just hanging out, talking with them, looking at their models, finding out how they were doing their builds and stuff. And, excuse me, had a lot of fun doing that. But I get out there and everybody's like, where's your models? How come you didn't bring anything out? Why didn't you do this? Why didn't you do that? And it's like, well, because I didn't hear about it till this morning. Don't have anything ready to pack up and bring out. And by the time I go drag everything out to get it out, pack it up and everything, it just wasn't going to work. So I like to have models to take out there, put on the table, and, get people's opinions and stuff. And it's not about the trophies or anything like that. It's just about going and mingling with other builders. This year, I'm going to attend the 3 shows. Plus, we have a group build off with a local Facebook group. They're just local builders only in the group. And I'm going to try to get in on one of those. So I've got 4 shows, and I figure if I have 2 builds, that would be enough to accommodate all 4 builds. I'm hoping to have more than that, but I don't really think I'm going to hop into getting into any of the build-offs and stuff going on this year. I know a lot of people and a lot of groups and stuff are going to be doing them again, and they're a blast to do. Like the 48-hour builds, man, I love doing them. But it's just to the point to where I have so many projects just sitting here that I'd like to get finished up. And if I have time in between some new builds, I'd like to work on them too. I'd like to get my cancer build done. And I've decided I've got to strip that whole thing down and just restart the whole painting process. And so you get into that kind of a funk, get that kind of a kip going, and you suddenly don't want to do it. You don't want to touch it. And I know a lot of you guys feel the same way. You sit there looking at it thinking, well, that thing just drove me nuts. Why do I want it to drive me nuts anymore? I'm already nuts. I don't need no more nuts. So you just kind of put it off the side. You forget about it, and then you kind of start feeling down and bummed out because you feel like you're letting people down that were counting on you to be a part of it, get it done and get it finished. And I'll get it done, I'll get it finished and things, but with deadlines and stuff like that, I'm not going to get myself to the point to where I can't keep up. I'm going to build at my own pace for right now. I did that for the first 2 years, and man, I had a blast. The 3rd year, getting into it or a little bit before last year started, I just couldn't do it. I got into 2015 with 7 builds going, 4 of which was for the GSL show. And then I had my cancer build, and I had this build and that build and this build and blah, 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 blah. And I wasn't able to get any of them done. And then it just added stress and pressure and just frustrated me. So I figure this year, if I eliminate that kind of stuff, if it looks like it's something, I got something done and things, or I have time to where I can do something, I might jump in on 1 or 2 of them. But for the most part, I'm going to build for me. Try to get some new stuff to take out to the shows to put on the table just to chit chat with the other builders about and stuff, show off what I'm doing and things, and hope people like it. And I'm going to do something different also this year. I'm going to do, on this next build, I'm going to do a video on. I'm going to do a new series of tutorials, which is going to be a complete build up with this next model kit, because I've had a lot of people, and I've got tips and pointers and things throughout my tutorial videos, talking about things like they were talking about gluing and painting, putting stuff together and it not sticking, and it's because of gluing parts on top of painted parts, which the glue holds perfect. I mean, it's a strong bond with the paint. You put any kind of glue onto your plastic part and you put it on a painted part, it holds so tight. Problem is it softens up the paint to where it doesn't hold against the bottom layer part, causing it to come off. So it doesn't do you any good. You got to go bare styrene to bare styrene. There's been a lot of debate and a lot of questions, and I've been getting a lot of emails on it. And I'm like, well, I actually have 2 videos, or mention it in 2 videos, on what I do and how I do it. And the reason I kind of started doing my videos is because I had a lot of people asking me about this on the acrylics or that and stuff. And I got tired of sitting there typing out a 30-minute reply explaining how or what I'm doing with it and what air pressure and how I mix and all this stuff. And so my videos, my tutorial videos, wasn't basically to come on here and say, hey, look at what I could do. It was to take what I learned from Dr. Cranky and from many, many builders, Don Yost, a bunch of them. And it worked for me. So when people ask me questions, I got to the point to where I'm just going to do a video, and if they ask me about, boop, there you go. There's an explanation. And that's how they all got started, and how I kind of got into doing the tutorial videos, was just to answer questions that I was getting. A lot of people were seeing my pictures on Facebook of my models that I was building, and nobody could believe I was doing all this stuff with acrylic paints and stuff. And so I started, okay, well, here, you did it. And typing out 30 or 40 minutes per question when you're getting 20 or 30 questions a day just got tiring. So there's my videos. That's how they came about. And now I get people asking questions on a lot of the same stuff, of which in my complete buildup of a rusted vehicle, where I did the panel van, I have these techniques that I'm being asked about in them videos, and there's, I think, 18 or 19 videos in that series for that one model build. And for the life of me, I can't remember exactly what particular video had that particular subject in it. And I mean, some of them are 20 minutes long, some of them are 45 minutes long. And so I kind of didn't feel like I want to go sit in there and rewatch my videos to find the part that they were asking about. Oh, okay, that's the video, then send it to them. Oh yeah, by the way, if you want, you can just skip to 2238, and that's where it begins, where I was working that process. So this time, I'm going to do it to where when I build up my motor, I'm going to do and show you guys how I build up my motor. Dr. Cranky's done it. I know a few other people's done it. And no, it sounds like people getting home. And so I'm going to try to put something together to where I can have how to build up how I do it. Because there's many ways to do it. Many, many different ways. People have all kinds of different techniques and stuff that work for them. This is what works for me, so I'll show you. And if you try it and it works, cool. If it doesn't, then look at other people's videos. There's all kinds of ways to do it. And so that's kind of where I'm going to be. I'll show the detailing of the interiors and stuff and what I do. And I'm not going to get too wild on this first model because I am going to be doing some testing. And I'm going to videotape the building process, the painting process, the polishing process. And, well, I guess I don't really need to do all of that just because I already have it, but I will for this build anyway, update it so that people can see how I do things and maybe it'll help them and work for you guys. And so I've got some ideas on how to do some different kind of paint mixing and stuff like that, using the acrylics. I am going to attempt to make my own candy colors with acrylics, which is going to be strange. If it works, it'll be cool. And so I'm going to be doing some practicing, some testing and stuff like that. And the cool thing about it is if it doesn't work, you guys are going to see it. You'll see where it failed and how it failed. And if I can figure out a way to fix it, I'll show it. If I can't, I'll just tell you that's garbage. It doesn't work. Don't do that. So you guys I've just had a whole bunch of thoughts and thinking on, man, this would be cool if you could do this, and this would be cool if you could do that. Using paints that people say you can't use for models because it doesn't work and stuff. So we're just going to try it out, see what happens. So that's kind of what this first build's going to be about, and this is what this year's going to be about. So I hope you guys kind of sit back, and drink a cup of whatever you guys have while you watch my videos, and I hope that they help you. I hope you learn something, and I hope you like what I do. So, time to brew up another cup of coffee, and I'll get this one here posted up, and then I will go ahead and start my model video. Chat at you soon. Happy New Year, people. Chris Chapman, Rusty Nuts Model Shop. I'm out.